I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right.
If you're looking for a great place to buy your toys, CoKids has a great range of figures, including your favorite ones from Hiya toys like Godzilla, King Ghidorah, the female Muto. Get 6% off in all your purchases with my discount code. Use Ruby CoKids to get all your favorite figures much cheaper than anywhere else with fast shipping. Link in the description down below. This also means you don't have to wait for those long releases from the US. You can get everything much faster and exactly the same time that Hiya Toys releases their figures from their end. So what are you waiting for? Use the link in the description, apply the code to get everything much cheaper. It's highly recommended. Thank you for watching the video. Welcome everybody. Today we're going to take a look at the before and after V1 and V2, which means the first image that was released of a certain figure and then the last image that we got before release. Now, if you look at the promo image, the crystals on Shimo have a different shade of blue. Now remember, the light can also come into play. That's why it may look different, but it does look just a little bit darker, like a dark blue. Whereas the V2 has a much lighter transparent blue to it. It looks very good. It starts off with a dark blue, and then as it moves up, it turns to a lighter blue. As we analyze the pictures, you can tell that the white is totally different. On V2, there's more details popping out all over the figure. I always thought that the promo images for V1, the first ever release for Shimo, were kind of bad because it made it look like it was a single color of white. That's not the case. It may be hard to see, but it does have hints of that pearl-like color around the face and sometimes around the body. When you look at V1, you can tell that it's hard to see any details because of how overwhelming that white was, or it could have been the lighting. Regardless, to say V2 looks much better. You can see the details a lot better. You can pretty much make out more compared to the original V1. A lot of people in the comments in the past two videos that I did actually agree with me that the promo images didn't do justice to Shimo. That is, until it was displayed at San Diego Comic-Con or people actually got to see the figure in person. They thought that in person it looked a lot better than the promo images did. Now the next one is for MonsterArts Godzilla Evolved. Perhaps one of the biggest differences has to be the dorsal plates. Am I the only one going crazy, or were the original dorsal plates supposed to mimic the translucent material? Now I know that it was nowhere stated that the dorsal plates were translucent, but I swear in the promo images, as you can see, V1, you can see the lighting popping through the dorsal plates, giving it that translucent appearance. When we move to V2, which is the recent one displayed at San Diego Comic-Con, it's a totally different color. It's more dull and it looks like a pearl pink, if you know what I'm talking about. There's no longer that translucent sort of appearance. Another factor, around the face and the gills, the neck area, you can see the pink is more vibrant. Another point that I've mentioned already besides the dorsal plates. Overall, the shading is almost similar, except on the V2 there's more of that greenish wash and it looks more black than before. On V1 you can tell it was like a gray type of wash. It almost looked like it came out of the eyes, brand new, fresh, but at the same time it did have like that dry brush sort of dirt onto it. Another minor change is obviously the eyes look a little bit better on the V1 compared to the V2, and perhaps the teeth look a little bit sharper, but besides that, V2 does not look that bad compared to the promo images. Now that's my personal opinion. I know there's people that definitely wish we got V1 compared to V2, but again, promo images will always look better than the final release sometimes. Next, we move on to Hiya Toys Godzilla Evolved, and perhaps the biggest change, without any question, has to be the paint job. It looks very different. V1 looks like Godzilla came out of the desert, had a few battles with Kong, and it looks more vibrant. V2, now remember, this could be because of the lighting, but V2 has apparently seemed to have lost that dirty dry brush throughout the body. you no longer see that anymore. Now another factor is the little dorsal plate or the little spike on the elbow. It's more hard to see. That's because it's lost that vibrant type of pink around the dorsal plates. I'm not sure why it's happening to Hiya Toys and MonsterArts. I'm assuming, I want to hope that it's because of the lights display above the figure. It's not properly displaying at a 360-degree angle or in a controlled environment. This hasn't been confirmed, but if you look at the promo image for Godzilla and then look at this image right here, the chest appears to be fixed. Now we don't know if Godzilla Evolved and Shimo got any secret upgrades. That hasn't been confirmed by Hiya Toys. Now the next comparison is going to be with Hiya Toys and SH MonsterArts for Shimo. Now both of them have different textures around the neck. If you look at MonsterArts, the neck section is a little bit longer and the details above are very different to what Hiya Toys Shimo has. The shade of color displayed throughout the crystals are very different. That is because MonsterArts is using translucent material and a different shade of blue, whereas in Hiya Toys is using multiple colors of blue throughout the crystals. You can see that hint of a frosty-like color. It has purple, whites, a darker blue, a lighter blue. It has multiple colors. That's really great. Now another difference you see is the crystal sizes on the top section of the neck and above the head and also the back area. For MonsterArts Shimo, she has crystals that are obviously longer and sharper, and they have a different type of form. They're similar but a little bit different if you look close, and the biggest difference would have to be both of them are based on different versions. Hiya Toys is based on accuracy 100%, while MonsterArts is based on a early concept art for Shimo, and of course the white, aka the paint job, is different for both figures. The one on Shimo is more accurate. It has that cream-like color, white frosty color, and it has that pearl-like color around the arms, the belly, and throughout the body. It has more details popping out throughout the whole thing. Another noticeable difference would have to be the mouth area with a different paint job and a different design. Both of them might be similar to some people, but it's not. Although it might be hard to see, the eyes and the overall shape are different from each other. Another difference that we can see between both of the MonsterArts seems to be on the slimmer side of things. Less muscle and the overall shapes are different. The articulation segments are a lot different compared to Hiya Toys. Hiya Toys has more muscle, it has more power to it. The segments are obviously different, and because the articulation is done different and better on the MonsterArts, you can tell that the head will actually have movement compared to the Hiya Toys, where you can see it's only one segment. It's only going to have movement around the neck, but unfortunately the head does not seem to have any cuts for any movement to look side to side or all the way down. The movement is going to be done throughout the neck, so the neck is going to move the whole head from left to right, where MonsterArts will have the ability to do both with any problems. Because it's longer and it has more segments, it should give you more freedom with your Shimo on MonsterArts overall compared to Hiya Toys. Now hopefully it's not that bad with Hiya Toys, but if it is, there's always chances for improvements. Other minor details would be the color on the cloths. Both of them are totally different. Hiya Toys has like a shade of blue. When you move to MonsterArts, they're totally black. Another difference, which is major, has to be the tail tips. Both of them are totally different from each other, but at the same time similar. If you know, you know. And yes, the MonsterArts version will be the bigger Shimo. Alrighty, now we move on to Hiya Toys Godzilla Evolved and MonsterArts. This one, you know my answer, and I think I made it clear on what I want from both figures and what I expect from them. I honestly think that you can't go wrong with both of them, but the biggest factor has to be the price point between them. But besides that, I think both of them look fantastic in their rightful way. I think both of them represent a different version of Godzilla during the movie. I said it, I think the MonsterArts represents like the brand new Godzilla coming out of the eyes, while the Hiya Toys represents like a battle damaged Godzilla that, you know, had some sand all over the body, it's a little bit dirty. Although that could be different, of course, from what we saw at the booth display for Hiya Toys. The paint job looks different from the promo images. But again, look, both of them are great, but there's a higher chance that the Hiya Toys will be the best one to go with because of the price point, and because there's a higher chance that it's not going to look as bad as other figures like MonsterArts. With MonsterArts, you truly never know if you're going to get at least something close to the promo images. The final product always turns out to be 2 times or 3 times horrible. Derpy eyes, really bad teeth, the paint job is different, the figure falls apart. There's a lot that can go more wrong than there's any good. But at the end of the day, that's your opinion and it's your money. You're free to do what you want. It's always good to consider other opinions from other people, especially professionals that have been doing this for years. That's always good. But look, I think that for Godzilla Evolved, both of them look fantastic. As for Shimo, I think that option is more divided, and I think most of us can agree that right now, Hiya Toys seems to be delivering the better figures. Oh, and by the way, all the images that you see right now have been edited by me, and perhaps the biggest difference that I wanted to do is Shimo from V1 and V2. And I can't believe it, but they look very much different from each other. The paint job is totally different. The crystals, they might be a little bit different, but the biggest difference has to be the paint job on the crystals. If you look at V1, the paint job on the crystals is much darker. It's like a darker blue. There's barely any shades of different colors throughout the crystals. It just seems to be like a single shade of blue, and that's about it. On V2, it's much colorful. It looks like a frosty type of crystal. The paint job is a lot better. You can see that there's like some reds, some browns. The pearl-like color is popping around the body. It's very defined. While V1, it seems like it's done in a black wash to make the details pop. And I think this might be a camera angle type of effect. But if it's not, V1 seems to have a giant ass head. I don't know about you, but that head looks way too big for the body. Kind of looks awkward. It could just be the angle that the photo was taken. But yeah, I mean, it looks different enough. So perhaps it has gone upgrades behind the scenes and we don't really know. I'm very curious about that. We should definitely ask Hiya Toys if, Shimo and Godzilla Evolved have undergone any upgrades behind the scenes. I'm very curious about that because I do see a noticeable difference between both of them. Now, if you're wondering why V2 on the arms looks a little bit different or awkward, that's because I had to edit them myself. There was like a little sign getting in the way, so you couldn't really fully see the arms or the claws, so I had to edit them myself and change up the whole system. That's why it looks a little bit awkward. My bad, I didn't mean, for that to happen, but I did my best to get, the full-on Shimo on display for you guys right here and have a comparison between both of them. Now, honestly, if I could definitely upgrade something from this current Shimo, and it's a wish list that I hope that happens for the special color version or a different version in the future, it has to be the neck. I definitely can see that there's going to be issues on the neck. Even though people are okay with the neck and okay with the articulation, I can tell you right now that it's going to have a similar effect to what the original Godzilla had. Not in a way that it's going to have gaps, but in a way that there's not going to be enough articulation for motion to happen where it can look down or up or do certain poses compared to MonsterArts. And a similar thing happened to the Skullcrawler. The original Skullcrawler couldn't do that. The brand new red Skullcrawler from Godzilla vs. Kong actually got an upgrade where it can look downwards now. So I really do hope that they actually add more cuts to the neck so it can look even better to the right and left, up and down, and a segment for the head. I want that to be separate, similar to what they done to the 2019 Godzilla and the upgraded Godzilla, where the whole segment for the head had to be cut off. Yeah, for sure, I can definitely see a better Shimo release for the future. And I'm really hoping that one comes with effects. That's one of the things that a lot of people have been requesting. And once I review this figure, I will give you guys my honest opinion. If there's any feedback that has to be given to Hiya, I will do that. And hopefully everyone else as a content creator is honest, so our feedback can be heard and delivered to Hiya Toys, because I really want Shimo to be upgraded. And another thing that I want for V2 to happen, if there's ever, a special color version, is translucent dorsal plates or translucent crystals. That's a must. That's something that MonsterArts got, correctly, and I love that. Now, at the end of the day, you are free to do whatever you want with your money. You earn it, and look, I'm just a guy here doing content for you guys because it's a passion that I, enjoy myself from a long time, ever since I was a kid. And I started my journey officially when I was a teenager here on YouTube. So yes, I've been doing this for over a decade. I consider myself a professional when it comes to doing reviews for figures and other things. And I would like to believe that my opinion matters, although the biggest and most important opinion should be coming directly from you, what you truly feel. Because if someone else tells you to purchase something that you're not happy, that you're not satisfied with, you're gonna feel that emptiness within you. So always listen to your heart, always listen to your intuition, or whatever you call that, to your senses within your body, to what they tell you makes you happy. If you want MonsterArts, to go with MonsterArts. If you want Hiya, go with Hiya. But there's always going to be options for both. Now what's funny is a lot of people think that I'm a hater for MonsterArts. It's not that I'm a hater. I'm just a critic giving you critical, feedback. I'm not happy with that company. I think most of us are not happy. And we do this because we want changes to happen within that company. To my eyes, the only positive change that has happened would have to be Godzilla Evolved. We were all making memes that they were probably going to reuse the same legendary Godzilla for the 9th or 8th time and just add a little bit, paint here and there to make it pink. But they delivered, they surprised us, and they actually delivered a brand new mold, a brand new design, a brand new paint job. Everything was built from the ground up, and that's fantastic. Anyways, the video is getting way too long. I think I'm going to cut off the video right here. Thank you guys so much for the amazing support. Thank you so much for actually appreciating my feedback and my thoughts with the videos that I do and delivering them on time. Yes, I know that I do sound tired in my videos sometimes, but that's because I do stay up. I get all the information, I get to editing and do so many things for you guys behind the scenes. Any type of help is always welcome from you guys by liking the video, subscribing, sharing the video, leaving your comment. All that helps out so much, and I want to thank everybody for supporting my channel, especially the OGs that have been here since I was a teenager. It's been a long journey. I'm starting to feel old, but it is what it is.